listen up. You might be doing all the wrong mods to your 5.7 Hemi Ram that you think are actually going to be helping your truck get a better performance. But listen up, I'm going to be sharing with you guys exactly the right mods if you got one of these trucks that you need to be doing. You might not be doing the right ones, but these ones I'm about to share with you guys exactly are the ones that you want to do if you have a Ram 1500. There's a bunch of things you could do to these trucks, guys. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Happy Tuesday, guys. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. I am fresh off work. Today's like my Friday. It's Christmas week, so I hope you guys have a wonderful holiday planned ahead for you guys. And let's talk about it. So these Ram 1500, there's endless modifications at the end of the day that you could do. And sometimes most people might be doing the right things. Some people might be doing the wrong ones. So there is mods on some like, to be more like serious with you guys though. There's some mods that I feel like a lot of people tend to do that really doesn't do nothing to these trucks at all. And it's not really worth you doing. So what are some of the things you could really be able to do when you have one of these trucks? I'm going to be sharing with you guys that shortly, but if you guys are here for your first time on the channel, I need you guys to do me a huge favor. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, help support the channel. I would definitely appreciate it if you guys could do me that favor. So what are some of the mods that you need to be doing right now if you got one of these trucks? First thing, we're gonna start with obviously under the hood. Now, personally, me speaking, I think that anybody that have one of these trucks, 4th generation, you have to, like, I personally think that there's no reason, if your goal is for you to make such and such power, there's no reason why you shouldn't upgrade your 5.7 Hemi intake manifold. Like, you really should upgrade that to like a 6.4 truck intake manifold, because I feel like that's one of them things where it is very, very like important. You know, there is a huge difference when you upgrade from a 5.7 to a stock, well, a 6.4 truck intake manifold, especially if it's ported, and then obviously it does require you to have a custom tune. Now, I feel like that's one of the things though that's definitely necessary. Now, hear me out. There's guys out there who believe that you don't have to upgrade to a 6.4 truck intake manifold. It doesn't really do much. And there's guys who, you know, they believe the fact that keeping the stock 5.7 Hemi intake manifold is really still like a good thing, I'll say. But personally speaking, though, I'll be honest, man, I think that the 6.4 truck intake manifold is something that's very, very, very important for the Ram 1500 trucks. If you got a 4th generation Ram, this is a mod that if you don't have it on your checklist, I mean on your mod list, whatever, to-do list, now you don't have to be doing these mods because you want to race with your truck. You could do it because obviously simply you want to your truck performance to be, you know, better and stuff like that. So that would be one thing I would say. My next thing on the list I would have to say is long tube headers. Now, the reason why I'm bringing this up, because long tube headers, there's still people out there where some guys believe that the shorty headers or short headers, whatever you want to call them, have some kind of benefits as much as a long tube headers will. Now, from my understanding and knowledge, I guarantee you that if you are planning on racing with your truck, or you plan on getting any kind of performance from your truck, you adding a shorty headers to your Ram instead of you going a long tube header route, it's like pretty much, I'm gonna be honest, pretty much it's like you adding your, like it's like pretty much you add in like your stock exhaust manifold back onto your truck, because I personally feel like if you're gonna add headers to these trucks, you shouldn't be adding nothing else besides long tube headers. And when you're going with headers, it's something that's very, very important also is the fact that you want to make sure you simply just go with a good brand. Anything, any parts at the end of the day, not just headers to be exact, but if you choose any good, like it have to be, me personally, anything I put on my truck has to be like a good brand, not no knockoff brand, especially when you going with headers. I know some people will say, oh, if you buy like the cheap eBay headers and stuff, it's not gonna make any difference. The long tube headers, you'll be fine, such and such. But I personally think I'm not recommending you spend over $2,000 on some headers, but I'm saying like I think it's worth it with you buying yourself some long tube headers and you looking to spend like somewhere around like roughly you're gonna be spending at least like close to like $1,100-$1,200 depending on what kind of headers you go with. Now that's something that I feel like headers, long tube headers, the 6.4 truck intake manifold, porter, and that's something I feel like is very, very important. These are mods that I feel like that's actually need to be done. Let's say if you got a stock 5.7 Hemi Ram, this is something that I would say that you actually need to be doing. Like another thing I would recommend that you do, obviously this is like everybody first time mod that they do, is adding a core air intake to their truck, which is something that's highly recommended. Now there's some people out there that go different route. There no offense to anybody, but there's always guys out there who like to go for like the cheap end stuff. You got to treat your vehicle like yourself at the end of the day, right? Whatever you buy or put on your truck, it really gonna determine on how your truck pretty much lifespan gonna be. Because how much, like if you buy something cheap, that's, you know, because you're trying to save some kind of money, that's this and that, a third. At the end of the day, that cheap part you bought probably gonna last you a couple months, compared to the expensive part you put on your truck could last you at least like a couple years and stuff like that. So you guys want to think twice if you are planning on doing something like this, especially when you're buying parts for your truck. Next thing I would say that you should be doing, guys, that's definitely is important for these trucks, actually, is doing something to your truck. Like every single one of these mods I'm telling you guys are mods that anybody that has a Ram 1500 that know exactly what they are doing when it comes to modification, they have pretty much, they either had or have everything I'm going to be naming. Next thing is a custom intake, custom tune, my bad, custom tune. Now, this is something, the reason why I'm saying this, because I know I was one of them guys, I admit to this, I was one of them guys where I was thinking that getting a custom tune with a stock truck doesn't really do much. But hear me out. If you one of them guys too that in that category, you are definitely wrong, because when you add a custom tune to one of these trucks, it definitely makes a very huge difference, guys. I'm telling you, I was debating. I've been debating for a while now, but I finally made my mind up to where I was thinking about getting a custom tune for the truck. And I was thinking like, hey, look, I don't want to get it done yet until at least I add some kind of mods and stuff like that that's going to be worth it. Like, for example, getting a 6.4 truck intake manifold. But then I started thinking like, getting a custom tune now, even if I don't have those mods, it's going to help this truck a whole lot more. I got to turn my heat on. I'm freezing my ass off right now. Super cold outside right now, y'all. But custom tune is highly recommended, regardless if your truck is stock or if it's not stock. I would highly recommend, guys, you do take advantage of these mods and stuff. Now, don't get me wrong, there's some guys out there that do a lot of mods to these trucks that think that, you know, it's gonna help do something. But like, for example, I don't believe in having like a bigger size throttle and stuff like that. I know, throttle body or something like that, throttle body on these trucks, unless if you are probably making crazy amount of power or something like that. If your truck is like a full race truck, have a lot of things done to it, then yeah. But I'm saying, like, those are one of the things that I barely believe in putting on this truck. If I'm just adding a few bolt-ons trying to make some power, I don't think that's really gonna help this truck at all, help these Ram trucks at all at the end of the day. But headers, custom tune, pretty much. What else did I name? I done forgot what the so 6.4 truck intake manifold. These are like all hand-to-hand things that go together that makes the Ram 1500 drive the best, perform the best. You add more power. Another thing too, I forgot to mention to you guys, is the exhaust system. It's another big thing that's very, very crucial for the Ram 1500s in general, especially if you are planning on getting your truck to the point where it could be able to reach its full potential. You have to get some kind of aftermarket exhaust system. Even with, I think just probably you just doing like a muffler delete, you'll be fine. But I think overall, like an aftermarket exhaust system is something that's very, very important. Very important for a Ram 1500 at the end of the day. It's not really like all of these things I'm naming, guys. It's definitely something that take part in your truck performance, and definitely will be worth it when you add these mods onto your truck. Some of these things are expensive, don't get me wrong, they are expensive, but these are mods that I feel like these are the right mods you need to add to your truck. There are more stuff you could do later. There's more ton of things you could do to the 570 Hemi engine, but these are like the top few, I'll say, that I know majority of any fast Ram at the end of the day, or any guys trying to make some kind of power out of their Ram, this is exactly what they either had or have, pretty much. But it's not rocket science, guys. I'm not trying to be a smart ass at the end of the day, because I do not know it all, but I do know for a fact if you do these mods to your truck, you're gonna see a huge increase in your truck performance. So you guys want to do me a favor, guys, I'm done yapping on. Make sure you hit that like, hit that subscribe button, help support the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care, stay safe, peace out.